Jessy had always wished for a horse and believed she had found the perfect one. However, after a few unsettling days, the horse was taken to the vet, who quickly realized something was unusual. Jessy sensed something was wrong and anxiously awaited the vet's findings. After days of examination, the vet concluded that Jessy couldn't keep the animal. It wasn't an ordinary horse, and its true nature made the vet uneasy. Grateful for the vet's honesty, Jessy accepted that she had to give up her dream. But before we start, smash the like button, subscribe and ring the notifications bell so you never miss our upcoming stories. That was a perfect auction for Jessy. Many animals were being sold near the country. Then there it was, a one-of-a-kind horse, bizarrely lovely. And they were all in desperate need of a home after being found or rescued from harsh owners. Jessy didn't have to second-guess herself, but she really should have. The dealer was unclear with Jessy. He couldn't tell her anything about the horse except that it was named Africa and it was around 4 years old. Jessy, on the other hand, was unconcerned. The horse appeared to be exceptional and responded nicely to her caresses. She was accompanying her home. Jessy didn't have a piece of land herself, but had an idea of where to keep the horse. Only a few blocks away, there was a riding school. There was plenty of room for other horses, and due to short distance, Jessy could visit her horse daily. It all seemed bright, but things would unravel quite soon. The first indication that something was wrong happened on the second day. Jessy was at work when she was summoned to the riding stables. They refused to tell her why. She realized what was going on when Jessy came. This is when Jessy should have realized something was wrong, but she was being naive. With just 1 or 2 kicks, her horse shattered one of the gates. The stables were designed to withstand such horse eruptions, yet they broke. The stable owner remarked how unique the horse was and asked Jessy where she got it and if she had ridden it. Jessy hadn't bought the horse to ride it, but to avoid further questions, she simply said she hadn't ridden it yet. She said that the horse had too much energy to stand around and needed to be exercised to accept her confinement in a stable. The stable owner then suggested an idea that would revolutionize everything. He informed her that she might use the horse track for free this time. He jokingly stated that he didn't require money since it would save his stables. Jessy was unable to deny it and instead consented. She requested the stable keeper to prepare the horse so she could dash home and change her clothing. Yet her horse will be gone when she returns. When Jessy arrived, she found a horrified stable owner instead of her horse. He couldn't believe what he was seeing. She was curious as to where her horse was. The stable owner remarked he had never seen such a strong horse, but Jessy wasn't interested in his comments. She demanded to know what had happened and where her horse was. He explained that he had tied the horse outside to prepare it for her, but when a loud car passed, it broke free and ran off. Though it was within the riding track's gates, the horse had smashed through one and escaped. Jessy was stunned. What had she gotten herself into, and where was her horse? She quickly contacted the rescue agency and reported her horse missing. Jessy immediately left the riding stables without querying the owner. It proved to be a mistake. The rescue agency inquired about Jessy's whereabouts, and as soon as she told them all she knew, they summoned her to the station. Jessy expected to give additional information about her horse or to identify herself, but the rescue agency had different intentions. When Jessy arrived, she was asked to sit. She jumped up as soon as they showed her a photo of her horse, thinking they had found it. But the rescue service explained it was an old photo, leaving Jessy disappointed and confused about where it had come from. When she asked for answers, they avoided her questions, only saying they'd do everything possible to recover the horse, because everyone would benefit. Jessy realized there was more to this horse than she had thought. She joined the rescue mission, starting near the stables and moving into a nearby forest. Though she hadn't seen the horse, she found signs it might be close. Just as she was about to give up, a stranger appeared and offered help. When asked to describe the horse, Jessy began explaining, but the man interrupted, suggesting the horse hadn't run away and it had been stolen. He claimed to have seen someone in riding gear take the horse, heading in the same direction as the stables. The stranger seemed certain. Was the stable owner hiding something? Had he lied to Jessy? Jessy immediately contacted the emergency service. There wasn't time to waste, yet they were as taken aback as Jessy. She anticipated the rescue service to react naturally to the news, as their strange conduct in the past should have been due to the theft. What exactly was going on here? Even though this was mostly negative news, at least they knew where to search and who they were chasing. The police were startled by the rescue service, and it didn't take them long to find the stable owner. Jessy went to the location of the arrest to meet her horse, but was told it had already been taken to a vet. They eventually informed Jessy where she could find the vet after she insisted. She raced there and was met by the rescue crew. They told her to stay still since the findings of the vet's checkup would tell her all she needed to know. Finally, everything was about to make sense. but she was halted by the media before she could even get near the vet. How did they know that specific name? What did they know, and how did they know it? They began to quiz her and kept referring to her horse as Africa. Jessy was initially too overwhelmed to talk. She looked at the microphones blankly and didn't respond to the reporters' queries. Jessy had no idea what was happening, but the media wouldn't stop asking questions, making her feel overwhelmed. Then she noticed something strange. Whenever they said horse, they used air quotes. What did they know that she didn't? Confused, Jessy asked why they referred to her horse like that, but was left without answers. She was stunned and realized she desperately needed help. But who could she turn to in such a bizarre situation? She realized she wouldn't be able to reach the vet in these conditions. And even when she tried to back down, the paparazzi pursued her. As Jessy was finally allowed to leave the media behind, she bumped across Amber, one of the rescue team members. An alliance was beginning to emerge. Jessy was restless and asked for assistance. Amber didn't think twice about inviting Jessy to hide out in her car. In fact, this was a loyalty she really needed. Jessy sat down and felt at ease for the first time in a long time. She was also grateful for Amber's attention, despite the fact that they had never met. They began chatting about everything, and she could feel Amber growing to trust her. Then Amber shared something that absolutely surprised Jessy. Amber informed Jessy that the stable owner had also stolen her horse. Perhaps this time, justice was due if they worked together. Amber recalled it like it was yesterday, despite the fact that it had been a long time. Amber and the stable owner went to court, but they lost owing to a lack of proof. Amber, on the other hand, was pessimistic. Everyone knew the stable owner was guilty, but he managed to get away with it. This was entirely due to his connection since he was a prominent man. Amber was concerned that the stable owner had released information about Jessy's horse to the media in order to stall the procedure. Jessy let out a sigh. What was happening to her life? All she wanted to know was what was wrong with her horse, if it was safe, and why it had been sent to the doctor. Amber attempted to reassure her once more, but she couldn't deny that something was wrong with the poor animal. After all, if everything was well, it wouldn't be at the vet. Amber gave some wonderful advice. She advised Jessy to really do an interview with the media, and a large one for that matter. The stable owner would never anticipate that, and by giving this interview and discussing his theft, he'd attract all the attention he was attempting to avoid. Jessy agreed to take the risk to save her horse, but asked Amber for a favor. She wanted Amber to find out what was really going on with the horse to ease her worries. Neither of them realized how much this decision would set in motion. They shook hands, exchanged numbers, and parted ways. Jessy watched as Amber headed toward the vet, then turned her attention to the media. Approaching a group of journalists, she managed to pull one aside from a major network. The journalist's reaction left her stunned. Though scared, Jessy clearly stated her demand, a live television interview where she could share her story without interruptions. To her surprise, the journalist agreed, saying she could say whatever she wanted as long as she appeared on air. Jessy wondered, was this truly such a big deal, or was there more to it than she realized? She even informed Jessy she may come up with her own questions and discuss them ahead of time. Jessy had no idea what she was hearing. Was this such a big deal? Despite her amazement, Jessy recognized their strategy was working. She excitedly texted Amber about her achievement. When she didn't hear back, she asked Amber how things were going on her end. Jessy receives no reaction in the hours that follow. So she sat at home, prepping for the interview and worrying about Amber. She attempted to contact her. There was no reaction. Then she checked her text to see whether Amber had opened it yet. Jessy still had time to check on Amber before she had to depart for the interview. Is Amber all right? She returned to where she had first met her since it felt like a decent beginning place. She raced over there, but once there, she understood she had to be cautious. Jessy took a peek at her. It was a grim scene, with cops around. Jessy paced nervously before calling Amber again, only to witness her being arrested, which left Jessy shaken and questioning whether she was to blame. They dragged her into the police car. Jessy couldn't help but be taken aback by this sight. Jessy made the decision to stick to the strategy. She drove away to perform her interview, intending to head to the police station thereafter. Why? Maybe she'll bring up Amber during her interview. Jessy is treated like a star at the television station. What did they know about Jessy's horse that made her famous? One of the journalists separated her to interrogate her about the questions she had prepared. She gave them over and requested a cup of coffee. The journalist soon returned and asked if there was anything else she could do for her. Jessy thanked her and grabbed her phone, where she saw she had received a text message. That came from Amber, who was posing as Jessy's lawyer. Amber had to lie in order to speak to Jessy in the first place, telling her to stick to the plan. Jessy drank her coffee and prepared to enter the live broadcast. She was able to hear the crowd as well as the presenter who was introducing her. How is she doing now? Jessy was anxious since there were so many people. But she persuaded herself everything would be okay since she was doing it all for her beloved horse. Jessy took the platform and began her interview. She mostly discussed the stable owner and his participation in all of this. She also mentioned Amber's horse. The audience was stunned and applauded Jessy for her bravery. The stable owner was detained during the interview. Jessy's horse was actually a zebra brought in from South Africa. It explains its distinct appearance and amazing power. The stable owner misplaced it and attempted to reclaim it. The zebra was relocated to a zoo, where Jessy could pay her weekly visits. Her new companion Amber accompanied her the majority of the time. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to leave a like, subscribe and ring the notifications bell so you never miss amazing tales like this one.